gods have spoken.
Alright.
Before we go any further, Keontae,
Mm-hmm.
I think a good 17.
you might want to remove my perms to edit nobody.
And mana.
Well, I can't edit mana. I can see mana, but I can't edit mana. But I can edit nobody.
Alright.
Why are you editing my shit, bro?
I can also see mana and nobody.
Don't be looking at. Well, there's nothing really story-wise in my thing anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, no, that I figured out. I just saw that I could see that. I was like, okay, is this gonna work like Roll20? Mana's is nobody. I have full access to your inventory and your stats.
Yep.
Well, I think it's because I was helping Nick at one point. So
I don't
asked
think
him
you
the
were.
question.
Everyone is set to observer.
Well,
Yep.
Let's see.
Yep, can look in his inventory.
I was like, I can. Well, okay, I can't make a roll for him, but I can view the entirety of his sheet.
Yep, can see all his features, all his spells.
I mean,
Maybe
all
Nothing's
of you.
really secret in here.
we'll have Kiari deal with it later.
Guys should be able to because everyone's each other's observer. So everyone.
Observer probably means you can view other people's character sheets.
Well, here's the by the counterpoint. When I pull up mana, I see the icon and the name and nothing else.
Oh, well, I can see all your stuff.
Oh,
See all of Gilbad's stuff
But
now.
there's
okay.
also a secondary
I
tab.
see what it is. Is there? So there's a one that's limited. Yeah. So you can.
Because I can only see mana, nobody, and Delbad. I don't see Simon, Adarapi, Bakari, Nissa.
Alright. I'll go through and change that as we go throughout the session.
I got it, Keontae.
So and to be fair, I actually edit. I can view, so that's good to know.
Alright.
Thank God I have like actual weapons.
All right.
Alright. Transitioning. Alright. Hold on.
Are we transitioning now?
Yes, we've all transitioned. Alright, so the universe should be able to hear and see us now.
I'm sorry, universe.
So, due to some technical difficulties, we are running way behind. And I'll just give a short overview of what happened last time on Titans and Tabernacles. So, last time on Titans and Tabernacles, y'all went to sleep, and you guys had a long conversation with if your benefactor Layla.
Who wants us to go and murder people and things?
Not murder people, just she needs more blood codes. If she's going to make, backup bodies for everyone, she needs blood codes for that. To
And how
give
do you obtain blood codes?
by killing things.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So murder, yes.
I mean, I murdered some Dravoas, but I don't...
Yeah, there's a thing that's about 90% Jerboas in there.
Ah,
It
Yep.
lovely.
was it was 70% Jerboa, and then the rest was Siren.
The Jaboa Siren.
I didn't know I killed some sirens.
You didn't kill Siren. Well, actually, yeah, you did kill a Siren.
Wait, when did you kill a siren?
That is a good question. When did Mana kill a siren? Or nobody?
I didn't kill a siren.
Nobody. Nobody's the one that killed the Jerboa.
Yeah, but who killed the siren? When did you kill a siren?
When you try to rip a primal out of her.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, oh, that's what that was.
Sounds like that did not go to plan.
Whoops. So I did kill her. Oh, I thought she was already dead. Whoops.
No, she just had a sentient primal inside of her, which,
Hey,
oh
then
boy.
where's the blood crystal from that?
That is a good question. Where's that blood crystal?
I thought I did give you a small blood crystal for that.
You gave me a small blood crystal for the Jerboa, but you didn't give me anything for the actual, like,
Oh,
Yeah,
the
and
child.
yeah, you would have another small blood crystal in your inventory from the child.
My first murder was a child.
Oh,
Well, damn.
well,
I thought she was already dead because of that. Now I think nobody's a little bit more guilty than
Yeah,
usual.
you're standing in front of the tank that has the that has a siren mm, body. They have a completely different appearance, but you can that like seeing the wings and the long hair and the just general appearance. It makes you think back to the child.
And I just rummage within like my pocket, and I find out I actually have two blood crystals. Be like, oh,
Oh,
oops.
okay then.
Yeah, she was basically a goner anyway.
Hmm.
It was probably more of a mercy. That's what I'm gonna tell myself.
That's what I'm
well,
gonna
I
tell
think
myself.
we now know what your wanted poster says on it.
I think
I'm just
that's
gonna tell
why
myself this while I install some copium inside.
I think, Mana, I think I now know why the siren's call is after us.
You
I'm about to go
murdered
get
one
that
of them.
item for breakfast.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh yeah.
he
Yeah.
got his mark erased and left.
Yep.
Oh, I think I figured out why the siren's calls after us. Or, sorry, me. Hmm.
Layla turns from talking to Gobat and looks at you. The siren's call. What's that? It sounds like an interesting thing.
Where did my notes go? Oh, is it?
Apparently, it's just some organization of sirens. That's all I really know.
1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Um,
I was wondering why they were
they're
after
pr-
us.
they're protections for entertainers. They made up of mostly fish folk and harpies. They have powerful voices and they run a protection racket. And they may be assisting the governor in some way.
Hmm.
You're saying all that out loud?
Oh yeah, but you're not here.
I know I'm not there. I was making sure you were actually saying it and you weren't just.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying it out loud.
I would love to see your notes. I know they're so detailed and organized.
Hmm.
Yeah, I keep pretty good notes.
Not you.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, surprise. Don't you? A bard can learn some things.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Back in my day, sirens were disliked for their innate abilities. Their flight and their powerful voices made them uncompatible with a lot of societies around in the first era, especially with their proclivity for learning enchantment magic.
Hmm.
Nobody's like head unnaturally like crooks to the side.
Hmm. Interesting.
Um, but
But it sounds like y'all have run into them a couple times.
No, only once.
Hmm.
Actually,
I,
technically, I haven't myself run into them. Mana has.
ah. Hmm. Must have
But
been during the week where I was playing at the inn.
apparently, from what Mana learned when we encountered them, they are on the lookout for us.
Us as in you and Mana, or us as in
Oh, yes, it's just me and Mana.
okay. I was gonna say if it was everyone who was there,
Me, Mana, you, and everyone else.
yeah. So they're well, they haven't come calling for me yet, so and I have made no attempt to hide myself. So, guess they're not after me, thankfully. Granted, I'm also a performer, so they might not care too much.
Hmm, still be careful.
Oh, don't worry. After I heard about them, I am. Just like the Merchants Guild, the Gold Guards, the Mercenaries Guild, and this new chapel with white robes and talks of weird religion from Knox.
They must be destroyed.
Yeah, it's fun what you can learn just sitting at a tavern playing. As he just kind of smiles. After all, a few drinks and a bit of food and it will loosen up most any set of lips.
I may need to discuss things with you at a later date.
My out of
Okay,
game version
if you
voice
wish.
wanted to say any, but I knew that a
Oh,
darky wouldn't say anything like that.
But
are
either
we still not
way,
using the map?
Oh yeah, I can move it. Since you guys are still talking, and let me move everyone back.
Well,
I assume at this point she's probably kicked at Nissa and Darby.
No, I think
So,
she's too distracted by y'all. We're just over here reading and stuff.
looking through, collecting a thing or two.
Yeah,
I'm not even near y'all right
you
now.
know that's my understanding of my limited understanding from what I've heard of them.
hmm,
Could be as he looks to the vats or whatever they are around.
Mhm.
Now that I think about it, that could be what we use to help with this project. Unless we just want to go hunting.
hmm. So what's the point of being here other than you just reprimanding us for not having bloodlust? As he
It.
looks at Layla.
I was also, if you, you seem to have been distracted, but I was warning you about Etufurnas. He is.
An old acquaintance.
I can speak for myself, thank you. He was woefully in love with me, but my ambitions stretched further than what a relationship with that man could have given. So I entered him, stole his research, and used that research to create the blood curse that you guys now wield. The
Her.
benefits, yes, it's a curse mark, but it's not detrimental to you in any way. It allows you to gather blood crystals, which allow you to advance in your power much faster than a normal person. Well, it doesn't mean you can't use the normal means by advancement. It'll just be easier if you use my method.
Hmm. I do have, and after our talk with the warlock stuff, he looks at the inheritance and looks over. An odd question. What weaponry are you proficient with? Or were you, I should say?
If you must know, I was quite adept with the blade and with with the gun.
Hmm. interesting. I will have to collect some crystals. But I do have something I'd like to try then. Is there I keep forgetting. Do we have the set of notes somewhere for how many crystals I'm gonna need?
Sadly, I still haven't and exported that note to um, Foundry, but you should need only a few.
So
Um,
we're level 5.
yeah, so going over to notes.
Let me see if I ever wrote it down with Folus. Let me just close the stream. I mean, not Folus, Dove. Oh, excuse me. Let's get into my notes.
I'm just blind, so I need it like close to my face sometimes.
Does she have any books on how to fix Nissa's gun?
Um, there are several schematics around them, but it's too complicated for you to really figure out. But the types of like the weapons that you guys use are basically only have one or two moving parts, while
Hmm.
like looking at the schematic that you find on one of the tables, it's has quite a bit going on, and it's kind of hard to fully grasp what it's saying.
But if I brought to um the
Gunsmith?
princess,
Yeah, if you took it to David, he would probably be
probably
very.
not. Probably not. If I took it to David, the princess.
You don't trust David.
No.
Well, I guess while I'm here, is there any books to how to advance my psionics?
Um, Not really. Most of the stuff here is on blood magic, and there's not really a lot that's useful to you guys.
I mean, the blood magic doesn't sound too bad.
Again,
I'm
I
going
don't
to
have
pocket the
any.
schematics.
I don't
Yeah.
have the notes written
The
anywhere, so me.
Sadly, the schematics are written on a very delicate piece of paper. Or you won't be able to take it with you, but you could potentially,
Copy it.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh
You
yeah.
just have to come back here
Can
tonight
we
after night.
can we copy it then?
Yeah, you can make a copy.
Let's make a copy.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, um, am I able to look through the books with blood magic?
Yeah, most of them are talking about uh, mutagens.
Ugh, alchemist stuff. He just throws it over the back of his head. Can never really wrap my head around around that.
So do we need to roll anything to copy it?
Um, yes, that would be a intelligence check, and it will take you several hours, which means you will lose out on sleep to do so.
You just don't want us to copy it. Hold on.
Like another question. Could I just use sleight of hand to carefully pick it up?
Or like
Well,
not
here's the
finger,
other thing. It's
but
not. We're not physically here.
Hmm.
It's a mindscape. at least that's what you've said before, or something similar to
I
a
never
mindscape.
heard him really say it's a mindscape. I just hear everybody else keep saying
Am I
it's like
wrong?
a mindscape.
I think we were forcibly teleported. Considering that he's also saying that we would lose out on sleep, I don't think this is a mindscape.
Well, no, he said that last time. He
And
said
I'm
we're
literally I'm taking
physically
jars
still wherever we were. This was
and
a
I'm
mental
taking bottles off of
transportation.
I'm taking bottles off of the shelf
Mhm.
and storing them away.
And I think the kids have dragged him away and murdered him.
Yeah, definitely going quiet.
Sorry,
Hmm.
reading. Um, so it takes 3 medium spirit stones to advance to level 6.
Okay.
And 3 medium is the same as 15 small ones.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. I believe that we said before this is kind of like a mindscape.
It's somewhat like that. You guys are basically here in the same capacity that C's here. Your semi-spectral image is created through a spell that C has cast of some kind. Um,
Yeah.
so you guys are here, but you're not here.
So things. So even if I tried to pocket a book, I would not take the book back with me.
Um, no, not in the traditional sense. Like you can grab stuff and hold stuff and carry stuff, because you guys can. Um, you guys will also have access to this space to do things like training and practicing certain things. But it, for or like for in a general sense, it's not like a physical translation.
Okay. So you couldn't just. You would have to create a copy of the schematics, in which case you would remember it later.
Hmm.
In which case you would then create a copy in your own room. Right. So that means I need to go on quite the killing spree, don't I?
Sounds like we all do.
All right. As he thinks over and thinks to the, I'm gonna need 15 small stones each.
I have 2 already, so at least I'm a bit ahead.
True, but the thing for me is I'm not really combat oriented.
Would have thought that child would have gave me more. Also, wait a minute. Out of game. If she did die, then where did the primal? Doesn't primals drop after people die?
It was a, it was a, I think it was a sentient primal,
Um.
So it
like
just took
how,
over her body.
yeah, like the fire one that you had at the end.
Mhm.
Question
Hmm.
is that the guy realized that's not his daughter anymore.
Oh, yep.
Okay. Question, Miss Layla.
Yes.
Since the spirit stones will generally come from however powerful the spirit is, how would I determine what kind of blood crystal I would get from a given creature?
You'd have to figure out how much that's more. There's the Bloodstone is based off of the difference in power. If you were to defeat an opponent that's vastly more powerful than you, who you can potentially get several large Bloodstones. But for something that's far weaker than you, who the most you can get is maybe a single Bloodstone or And if it's a lot of things that are vastly weaker than you, then you might get you might build up to the point where you can get one.
Okay. So basically, the best way to do this would be to fight something close to my theoretical level of power.
Yes. Though that will mean that you would only get medium stones.
Well, I need 15 small or 3 medium in order to do what I want.
We need to defeat three things.
Well, I need to defeat 3 things that are on level or 15 little things, which let's go see. Where's a little goblin outpost?
I mean, if you really want something fast, you could just take a couple commissions at the um
Mercenary
We just
Guild.
start
yeah.
exterminating Jerboas throughout the town.
Well, again, the problem is I'd probably need help.
I'm more than welcome to help you.
It took like 30 jerboas to make one small bloodstone.
Yeah, but if we hunt some bigger game out and bigger stuff outside of town, we could probably do better.
Hmm.
Right when right when they said 30 Jerboas and a little moth just flies out of nobody's mouth.
Looks okay.
All right, I'm ready to go back now.
Okay. Yeah, because
I am
most
going
of
to roll that intelligence to try to copy the.
All right, go ahead.
Ability check.
Sounds like a fun
Oh,
chaotic type of
7.
day.
That was not a
Uh,
very good one.
you get like a so you. This is like a weapon that looks kind of like the thorn from Destiny, and like you sketch the outline, but none of the like mechanical parts, because you're like, this would be enough. I need something this shaped.
Well, I got
puts a
10.
cross. Jerry
Um,
rigs a crossbow into that shape.
yeah, like
If we combine it
between,
together, we get
bet
17.
no, that's not how it works. But between the two of you, you guys have a loose sketch of what it is. Neither of you are have like the art skills to perfectly recreate the drawing in a short amount of time.
The only he Dobat looks to know about it. The only problem is you're a caster as well, aren't you?
Yes.
It might behoove us to have someone who is a bit more martial, because while I do have a few weapons, I am not the best with them.
I might be able to get Mana with us.
Hmm, I don't know. Mana decided not to go along with all this, so we'll
You
see.
guys could always come and help out at the Adventurers Guild or the Mercenaries Guild.
It would probably be a pretty good idea for us to go there and check and see if there's any creatures that they need taken care of outside of town that have been causing problems. Go
They
do that.
they rarely ever
Yeah,
really
and with
allow me
everyone
to
going to
go
the
and
festival,
help,
it might be
but
it
I've
might be a
helped
bit
them
of a
out a
few
few
more.
times.
Well, dear Dobat, Mana usually supports me in my endeavors, so
Hmm,
Bloodstone or not, they would probably still follow.
true. Of course, let us both be honest. Today, that we come upon the Festival of Colors. Who knows what's about to happen?
What's today? Sorry, out again.
Today is like literally the day before the Festival of Colors. Like we just went to sleep. Tomorrow's the festival.
Okay, I'm confused. Are we literally like tomorrow? Like we're waking up and it's the color festivals, or is it the day before?
When
Yes.
you wake up, it will be the day of the festival, the first day. It's a
Man.
5 day long event. So
Yeah, we had the catering event last time where poor Picari was basically being chosen to be a potential bride for Genryujin
What
because of
day
our
of
cooking
it?
skills.
What day of it were we supposed to meet with the guy?
It was at the opening ceremonies, which is going to be tomorrow at noon. Right, that's basically right before they open up the gladiatorial fights and whatnot.
I see.
Okay. All right.
So last chance for us would be also the last chance for us to sign up for the gladiatorial fights, as they said you could still sign up the
Yeah,
day of.
yeah, you can go this morning and sign up to fight as a gladiator.
Well,
Well,
that might also behoove us too, because we might be able to get some bloodstones for fighting in that.
well, again, that's gonna probably be more your style. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to do more duck and run style.
Hmm.
Gonna
Well,
have to
if you
have.
if you do it as a if we do it as a team, then we
Yeah,
would cover each other.
yeah, we'll see. I'm probably gonna take the merchant, the guild route, because because again, that gets me. Because I'm also at least neutral or slightly positive with them in terms of alignment with them. So I'll probably take that route with no body and mana, or Simon Price. Uh, well,
I'm
with
gonna what is uh uh dang it,
what
the lady lady that we are talking to,
Layla?
Layla. Uh, I'm gonna ask her if she could teach me anything about uh gunsmithing. It is fun.
Hmm. Well, do you have an adamantine level forge?
Does
No.
does Dobat know about those things?
Mm, you know that there most you know about the different levels of forges is they're basically ranked on the um, type of metal that they are capable of melting. The best forges around right now are going to be mithril forges. Is
Because
like
adamantine would be what the capital.
not even in the capital would they have an adamantine forge. You'd have to be very lucky and find one in like a dungeon or something.
So Dobat, thanks for a second. Um, those aren't even around right now. I think the best we have, even in the capital, is Mithril.
Mm. Then my forging techniques probably would not do well for you. Um,
Of course, I did state we do have the potential dungeon of a gunslinger. So who knows what to send there?
if it's someone from my era, then their weapon would be he would have been forged in at least an adamant. Well, I won't say the adamantite was the only thing that they were forged out of. That's just what my weapons are forged out of, and that's the method that I learned.
Using a strange technique from a first era survivor. So it could be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The forges, the divine forges are sadly inoperable after the um, after the gods the abandonment. Sorry,
Hmm.
after the
Well,
abandonment, a lot of the divine level forges were shut down. So people had to rediscover or how to operate um uh, even those types of forges.
Hmm.
okay, fair enough. Which actually, um, in this world, I'm just trying to remember. In this world, and especially in this timeline, um, tombs give off a very visible indicator when they open, right, or when they become visible.
Yes, when they are about to open, they will create a phenomenon that's usually visible for a good distance.
And right now, we only hear rumors about the Vashtu.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That it's going to be opening, and that it's on a battlefield.
Yeah, I have notes.
Hmm.
Well, what I'm trying to determine is after, because Dobat's going to go to the opening ceremony thing. After
Hmm.
that, we want to do. Some of us want to break off and try to find that tune, depending on if what he's depending on what Furnace says.
Hmm. I think we need to find out what he's going to say first. So I guess we should go on and get out of here so we can go do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I,
Unless
Zyla.
anyone has any last minute
Well,
questions.
no, Nick's trying to do something, but Silas being a pest.
Yeah.
Zyla. No, ma'am. Okay. Really? Okay. I'm trying to talk, Zyla. Shush. Okay. Am I able to use my telepathic speech on Layla?
Kinda.
It's just to get a simple message, that's all. Um, so kind of in her mind, I guess. Um, he will ask, Layla, do you know anything about the Praetors?
She gets sort of a weird look on her face. Hmm. That would be something of one of my master or Arcanist wasn't and necessarily involved in the Deus this ex machina prerogative. But the term is familiar, yes.
Hmm, just curious.
Well,
Do we
I will be
Exterminate.
back.
Oh,
the other couple?
No, go ahead.
the Praetor of Extermination seems to have sent out something after me,
Hmm.
and I believed he called me the incomplete observation.
If I'm correct, like their goal was to create a god machine, machine that's able to you know, produce the conditions necessary for a divine being to be born. But for
That
that,
seems
the
that
machine
seems
it's
vaguely. Sorry.
for that the
Go ahead.
machine needed it in and of itself to be of divine origin.
Ah, it's vaguely familiar, and yet some of the pieces are falling back together. Thank you for your information.
I would be careful if you're a part of the that machine. They were working on some very dark stuff.
Hmm, I guess we shall see. Um, after that long, awkward silence, um, nobody will just stare blankly back at her and just says, I'm bored now. Like he's saying this out loud after that long, awkward silence. Can I be
Uh,
returned back?
I think we can. I think we are able to leave ourselves, or at least I'm gonna try. Dobat's going to attempt to close his eyes and wish himself back to his body.
An awkward moment when he's still just standing there.
Anything happen?
Um, yeah, as soon as you start uh, desiring to go back to your body, you'll return.
I'll
pop.
I'll move myself down here.
Ah, I remember now.
Remember what?
The project was as the has nobody left yet.
Oh, no, not yet, I guess.
The project was is desired by a Jacaranda, the flowering mind king. If you can, he had access to the body of the sky god. If you could find that, if you can figure out where that body is located, and you can find a Jacaranda's his inheritance, the I believe he called it the 3,000 Worlds tree. If you can find those two things, you might be able to find a way to stop what's happening. You can stop yourself from becoming part of the machine. Because from what I understand, and the Praetors are the key, and they needed a binding agent, which is what he was researching.
Hmm. Well,
Him
is
and
the body. Oh,
him and Kitalis were very close, and they both lived on the same continent. So I would start on that continent.
on Catullus?
Yes, Kitalis, the bright golden king.
We were just on that continent.
So
Like,
the continent is named after the kings. Interesting.
uh, we kind of already
The
have business here on Arcanus, though.
oh, so this land that we are in is named after my master.
Yes.
If you can find her notes, well, and one of her inheritances is they will be in the possession of her students. Her students and are she called them her magnum opus. If you can find and go to one of them and contact them, you should be able to tell them some of my existence, and they will hopefully come to help me. The their names should be melanosis is albedo, citrinitis, and rubedo.
Questions. I do know those are the living gods, right?
Yes.
Oh, God. Why does everyone have to be associated with those damn divine gods?
Interesting. So they've have they ascended to true divinity?
No. That's the only thing that's not losing their no, little respect I have for them.
Fine. If you can get in front of any of those four, here, then you should be able to help us. them are if you can find Kirke. She's a water spirit that lives in the southern parts of the continent. Um, her and she lived in the land that was because um, it's hard to I can't don't know if the names would mean anything to you. Um, do you know
I'm a lot older. I'm a lot
Not
older than I look. Try me.
Gnostis?
Do I know that name?
Roll a history.
It's like,
And the history buff left.
Well, after half the party is history buff, so it's not gonna. It, it doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
you temporarily remember glimpses of the past, perhaps faded memories from long ago, previous life. When you make an ability check that uses a skill, you can roll a d6 immediately after seeing that number. You can add the number of d6 to the check. Okay. I'm gonna use knowledge from the past life on this, just in case if I don't roll. Okay. And then I'll roll a d6 to add.
Okay. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum,
Oh,
ba-dum,
okay.
ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum,
Slash
ba-dum,
R.
ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
So 16.
Awesome. Yeah, you definitely have heard of Gnostis. They were known as the Blind King. They were one of the seven ancient kings of the first era. Um, Along with Arcanus, Catullus, is Jacaranda, and several others.
Hmm.
Actually, with that role, you would probably know all seven names. You got have Catullus, this Arcanus, Hyoga, Gnostis, Escere, Elatus, and Jacaranda.
Hmm. Interesting. So, I'm supposed to find the living gods and then find this water spirit.
Um, yes, she's a divine spirit, so it might be difficult to get in contact with her, but if you can find any of them, they can help me. So if you run into them, please do me a kindness. Dorothy, what are you doing up there?
Hmm. By the way, all of this is going to be telepathic, just to let you know, because there's still other people here. But if with that, I'll take my leave. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, you just have a good rest of your day. Be
You too.
safe. Eh, eh, eh. Oh, so, all right, you
Be
two.
gone.
Go. You should probably leave now as well.
I I do kind of want to try to memorize that schematic so I could try to describe it to David. Because I want to
Hmm.
be like, I found some
If you want to
information
memorize
on
it,
one.
it will take you several hours, and you will lose out on sleep.
Hmm. Yep, I will do it.
All
Because I
right.
want to be able to be like, I found some information on it, but you need this kind of forge, so that maybe he'll give me an idea where to find the forge.
Well, no,
I,
like I said, to Dobat's knowledge, the adamantine forge doesn't exist. We have mithril. We have
Well,
to find an adamantine forge potentially in a dungeon.
yeah, that's why I'm going to bring it up to him to see if he's heard of one in a
He probably
dungeon somewhere.
probably hasn't.
But I want to have some like tangible proof that I got it from a document, so it's not like, oh yeah, I know someone that told me.
all right. Give me a research roll. Research is either a it's one of your it's an intelligence based roll. You can it's a basically an intelligence check, a history check. It basically whatever you think is the best is mental stat roll that you can roll that makes sense for the research.
Investigation?
Yeah, investigation works too.
Yeah, that's probably going to be my best.
What about a Darby?
I mean, what about the Darby? I was asking, I don't remember what I was asking, honestly, about the gun, huh?
Yeah. You basically the same. If
I
you
mean,
want,
the gun's not mine. I was simply asking. Listen, um, I just wanted to know if, you know, I did want to know though, do we know where the other tomb is? Or tomb? Was it tomb?
you guys have been given directions to the gunslingers tomb where it's located, but it's on essentially an active battlefield, so it's kind of it'll be difficult to get to it safely, but you can
Oh,
get there.
Hmm.
the battlefield is actually active.
Yeah, it's a location of contention in between two city states. So, well, it's been a battlefield since ancient times, but it's currently being fought over by two other city states.
Okay.
Man, I'm getting really bad rolls tonight.
Yeah, you spend about 6 hours researching it, and you it's just you can't wrap your head around it because you don't know how these shapes move. Like you don't know how how you would even manufacture some of the parts that go into it.
Okay. Well, I'll just tell him that I saw one somewhere, but I couldn't copy it because it was too complicated. It was just too delicate to move.
Um, can we go back into the dungeon area or no?
Hmm. Oh, this is you mean the cave outside this
Yeah.
area? Um, I mean, yeah, but it last you saw it was filled up with water, so you don't know if that's drained out or not.
Okay. Then I don't need anything else. I want to go to bed.
All right, so you leave Nissa there. Nissa, you do
No.
not get the benefits of a.
Can I get her to? I'm gonna ask her if she can, uh, kind of translate. At least give me an understanding, Layla.
Mm.
I mean, look, if she's sitting there, she already cursed us with this mark and requires us to shed blood to gain blood crystals, and however this is helping her, then I mean, the least she could do is, you know, give us some knowledge as much as she can. So we didn't stay in the temple with her for a year. Well, I, but let's go.
All right. C is unable to put it in layman's term. There's the more she tries to explain it to you, the more confused you get by it. So in the end, it kind of ends up just being more confusing than when you started.
Oh wait.
Six, I was being confused.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The crowing of a rooster signals the dawn of the next day.
For anybody else in camp, breakfast is ready.
Yes, Picari and for those of you guys innocent, Picari and Mana have made an egg breakfast.
Let me go ahead and move this just in case.
I want to. I want to rush over to the medical ward and help decorate and stuff over there, and then stop by the Mercenaries Guild for a bit. See if
Well,
I can.
the medical ward doesn't really need. They finished up the decorations the last time you helped them out, so there's not really a lot going on. You had, but you are able to help them out with some of the patients.
Okay. Yeah, I
Sadly,
guess.
they don't get a break for the holiday, because people don't stop being sick because the holidays are going on.
While we're eating breakfast, nobody's just gonna telepathically tell everything he just learned to Mana.
Well, that's certainly a lot of
I can barely hear you, Kiari.
that was a lot of news for breakfast.
Yeah, apparently she knew quite a bit.
I may have been a bit too hasty.
I may have been a bit too hasty to remove my mark.
It's now goes back, begs for their mark back. Do you tell them a part about murdering a small child, or
we'll,
do you leave that out?
we'll leave that part out.
Just imagine how Bakari's gonna feel when she finds out.
Mm-hmm.
If she finds out.
And she's sitting at the table with them.
Well,
And
well,
they're
he's
speaking telepathy.
telepathically doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just sitting in silence at the table.
I will tell Picard. He's giving me some information that Layla wanted passed on. Oh, they're going to be unavailable because they're doing a party burn event.
Okay. Kinda. I heard the part that Sarah's gonna be unavailable.
Her dad's birthday tomorrow is tomorrow, and her brother's in town, so they're doing a thing tonight. It's
Okay.
kind of an impromptu thing.
Lucky day.
Alright.
Well, does that change anything about our plans for today?
Mm, I may still accompany Doe back to the thing. I
Mm.
am interested to see at the furnace side.
You're not worried about getting dragged.
To be honest, I really don't care. As long as the have the mark that gives me the blood crystals, I think I would be fine. But though I am considering joining the gladiators thing to see if I can get some blood crystals through that.
Given that, given what seems to be their current one, I wouldn't be surprised if you continue.
But at the same time, do I really want to prostrate myself before the gods for their entertainment?
It would be a good opportunity to curse their name.
You bring up a good point.
The
I need to
chaos
get a few
reign.
of their attentions anyway.
And do not say, if your life is in danger, I'll kill them before they strike the blow.
Yeah, why not? I may join. Seems like a fun bit of chaos for today.
Mhm.
I
Uh,
always wonder if you'll ever grow tired.
never.
Your ass always.
It is the only true way to progress.
Indeed.
Well, then I better finish this up so I can head over to the sign up. Thank you, by the way.
Indeed. You know I'm always here to assist, as long as you're within reach, that is.
Of course. Later in the week, we may be heading toward get some commissions from the mercenaries guild so we can stock up, as you can say. Would
Yes,
you mind accompanying?
of course. If you want to stock up, I know some places that are offering a pretty sizable discount.
I meant in blood crystals.
Oh, well, if you need those, then I know some places where we can get those fairly soon.
Hmm. I may have to discuss that with you later.
Indeed. I believe what's his character's name?
Simon.
Simon was had some plans in that regard.
Hmm.
So, did you make any plans with the others before you came back?
Other than the possibility of joining Dobat for a few mercenary commissions, no. And other than the plans I just divulged to you right now concerning the living gods.
Well, I guess I'll go to work as usual. Will you be in today?
How long does the gladiatorial fights last?
Well, actually, the coffee store is going to be closed today. They're having some of the waiters and stuff work um, the VIP booth at the arena for the opening ceremonies.
That isn't a bad decision. You can split the wait staff, but if you completely shut down this location, then we're not going to be able to profit from the people who can't participate in the arena.
But to be fair, there probably weren't as many enough waiters to split,
That's why you get temp workers.
and those have already probably been taken. Those have probably been taken up.
And I could have used Mana for that too. So Mana could have given a play-by-play by connecting to somebody at the arena. So then we could make money off of telling people the play-by-play of the fight.
What happened to your little creation? I haven't seen them in a while.
Oh yes. They've been researching at their furnace in the castle district. They should
Oh,
be here in about an hour or so.
sure. I may wait for you then, and for that as well, and see what they have come up, and then after that, I'll go sign up.
Okay, so what do I have to?
All right.
I love that word.
Can I go look for my
Hikari's just like,
Well,
see
the
my
thing
would
about
you
it is that
see
the
my
machine
cousin? Because I still
doesn't
have
have to
Yeah,
yeah.
he
cousin.
actually, yeah, your cousin did give you his address in the Castle District. Like, it's actually not that far into the Castle District, so it's not too far from where you guys are, from where
Okay.
the Greasy Elephant is. So you are, it'll, after getting done um, at Mercenaries Guild, you'd have just enough time before they left for the arena to catch them.
Okay. I
Just
just want to ask him about the gin.
Hmm. The Jinn, my an old friend. He helped me out of a very sticky situation in back when in my seafaring days. He is a Marid, one of the water Jinn.
Okay. Do you know where he's at or where I can talk to him?
He said he was gonna quote unquote bum around on the city for a little while. So look for an unusually active fountain or something like that. It probably one that is specifically like spraying people with excessive amounts of water.
All right. I'll send Bennu up in the air to scout and see if he sees anything like that.
All right. Um, while Benu is flying around the city scouting,
Bless you.
um, do you want to come with us to the arena? The things should be getting started soon.
I could sit with you.
Well, you do have the invitation we gave you.
Yeah, of course, sure. Uh, well, I would want to bring this up.
I'm
Can
going to sign you up for the arena.
huh?
I said I'm going to sign you up for the arena.
Oh, you're gonna go sign up.
yeah,
Yep.
Nis is going
Well,
gladiator.
Mhm.
that's fine. Yeah,
Nobody will also be going gladiator.
I'd, I'll love to go and sit with you. That'd be great.
You'll get to see Father in all his glory. a rare sight.
Just
Wait, he's
glad they
fighting?
backed out, huh?
No, no, no. He's going to, um, since he's the mediator between the other four gods, he's going to make a show of things, so to speak.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, that'd be also neat. Too. I can't wait. Let's go.
All right. It's around this time Ikal has arrived back at the tent.
So, what do you have to share for us today?
Ikal is going to pull out a set of the bifocals and open up a scroll that rolls um, down onto the carpet and off a little ways, and it's going to start giving you their observations. And at 9 a.m. On the on Friday, Saturday morning, a large shipment of saltpeter left, left from the site, only to be only for the at around 10 that morning for a large shipment of charcoal to be brought in. Several large trucks filled with water from the hot springs, things to the north, that have come in and out over the past couple of days, and they've been boiling that water to get some smelly yellow stuff from it.
Okay. What did you say they were exporting?
Saltpeter,
Salt, beer.
Peter.
Peter.
It's it's sodium nitrate,
Potassium nitrate.
or either one.
Hmm.
I've heard it. Well, I guess potassium.
Saltpeter.
Potassium is a salt, if I remember. Salt. No, I'm wrong.
Um,
So
It's
ingredients for
potassium nitrate,
gunpowder.
yeah.
but you guys wouldn't know that.
Wouldn't we know?
I mean, it wouldn't be unreasonable.
Well, that depends. Do we know chemistry like that in this world? Probably just alchemists.
Yeah.
We're a lot older.
You guys wouldn't. You guys wouldn't really know too much about it. Um,
Well, I was I was thinking it would be reasonable for me to know because I do work with explosives.
yeah. So it's the you would recognize this as some form of black powder or production. They're using the sulfur and the charcoal and the saltpeter to make make some kind of black powder, but they're not exporting it. Like they're only so they're making saltpeter on site from the their from they seem to be getting water from the sea that's nearby, and it's getting pumped into the building, and they're making saltpeter.
That what they
Hmm.
what?
This seem to be doing some kind of weapons manufacturing, specifically gunpowder. I don't know, but last I checked, I don't remember him being a primary dealer of it.
Um,
So,
they note that David's assistant has been cited it at the building multiple times. What's his assistant's name?
Faith. It's pretty. I might keep this. Oh,
Um,
Faith.
I wish I had it more clearly written down. Oh wait, isn't in the quest on Foundry? That would be his niece if I did that. Right.
Nope, it's a notebook 500.
A gun worth fighting for. There we go. Uh, what? It didn't save my description. No.
Ha 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 ha.
Did it save it for any of the other things? Okay,
if you hit save,
I've so I don't have it. I'd have to remake the gun worth fighting for. That's the one where you guys go out of the desert. Theodore, the apprentice of David, has been cited at the site.
Dun dun dun.
but is he working above board with his boss or working behind the scenes?
He seems to be. It's Ekal wasn't able to get anything detailed, but Ekal was able to see that he's not buying or selling anything. He just goes in and talks to an older individual in one of the offices in the side of the mansion for like a couple of hours, and then he comes out looking a little bit disappointed and dejected. But for the past 3 days, he's gone.
What time of day does he usually go?
He usually goes in the morning and he stays there until like a little bit past noon.
Would he have left already today?
Yeah, if he went today, but the site seems to be closed down for the day for the festivities. A lot of the workers aren't have left the building. There's just the guards are the only ones that are still there.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it call does remind you that it is close to time for the opening ceremony to start. So if you guys wanted to go see it and or find someone to buy the tickets that you guys have, that would be the time.
Okay. Then yeah. That's, that's,
I mean, Ekal doesn't say all of that, but Ekal does note that there's a lot of people that are heading towards the arena.
yeah. It's probably a good time to head out. The, op- the opening festivities start soon.
Oh, since I won't be needing it, nobody will hand you his ticket.
Thank you kindly.
I thought you were going to use your ticket to get in with me.
No, I changed my mind. I'm gonna join the arena.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that
so
means I'm
I'll
probably
be
not going to
watching.
be needing my ticket either.
Which means so I'm the only one who's going to meet at the furnace at this point.
And a bunch of lovely people who paid for the opportunity.
Yep. I'll give I'm gonna, since you're going to go sell these tickets, I'm gonna give you a fine too, but I'm gonna be like, I want some of the pay, my pay.
Oh, you're gonna stop by the camp
Yeah,
for some
I'm gonna
eggs.
be like, I'm going to go enjoy. I'm also gonna say that I'm going to join it too, so I'll pop in and be like, I'm going to go join the arena, so I'm probably not gonna be needing this, but I want the pay
Oh,
from it. If you're gonna go sell it.
oh, oh, nobody was going to join as well. Why don't we go together?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Also, take some eggs. Like, you'll need some protein for the fighting ahead.
I will explain the different versions as well as we walk. Be like, I've already gone and talked to them. There's basically two different routes you can go. You could either go singles or you can go as a group.
Mm,
And you
what
basic
constitutes? Sorry. What constitutes as a group?
they basically put you in a group of six,
Eh.
and you have six people that you fight alongside with.
Hmm. Albeit, I do love the concept of the chaos of that. But at the same time, I'm thinking I'm just gonna go solo.
Um, so I know if we went both solo, if we would get put against each other, or do they just put you against
Well,
monsters?
they're putting you against beasts and creatures and whatnot. That they're not going to really put you against other people because you guys aren't professional. You guys aren't professional gladiators. You're doing this for sport.
I feel like that's a bit backwards, personally. I would much rather, if I'm a rookie, I would much rather fight another person than the wild beast that has no qualms with ripping my throat out.
Oh, so we're going against Beast.
Yep.
I guess a group will be fine. As long as they don't get stabbed in the back.
I'll be watching out for you. If
I
you'll
would
send
like
me a, if you'll send me a message of when your match is starting, I'll make sure I'm watching.
Okay.
before everything kicks off. I would like for Dobat to go have a look at the Mercenary Guild quests to get a feel for like what's available.
For the most part, the notice board is fairly empty right now. Well, most people are celebrating the festival, so most of it is like, oh, find my missing ink pet, or this person's been missing for a couple of days. Can you find them for me? Eh,
Uh,
Um, there's a large number of rats in the sewer. Those kinds of quests. Nothing like that takes you out of the city currently.
or nothing that would be big enough to get a blood crystal.
Well, you're not sure.
Hmm. Well, I'm pretty sure a bunch of rats is well below my level. So, yeah, I mean, what are the kinds of kill quests that are available besides the rats?
Not like I said, there's not a lot currently.
Okay. Well, with that, Dobat will make his way to the at the furnace box.
All right.
You didn't want a rat homunculus?
Well, again, Dobat's looking for ways to get blood crystals, and of course, a swarm of rats would probably get him a small blood crystal, but at the same time, he doesn't have a. That would probably be treated as a swarm, and yeah, I have a single firebolt and a dagger and a rapier.
All right. So as everyone's arriving at their various site locations in and around the arena, uh, you hear like The arena itself holds probably 500,000 people. This is a very large arena. The- Like a quarter of the, like most of the city can fit inside of this arena, but most of the city isn't inside the arena. Most of the city, they're outside, in the plazas and bazaar, or just watching everything through these giant in in crystals that have been set up in various places along around the city. The like the arena probably holds probably a good 10,000 or so people currently, with ample room around each person, except for the the westernmost side of the arena where uh, that section has been completely cleared off, and these five enormous chairs have been put into place, each decorated it to personally fit the deity that it's meant for.
We could have just gotten regular chairs.
Um, as you guys as are seated, the governor is actually there for an event. His large beak and short stature, he's like testing the microphone. It's like testing, 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 testing. Okay. Good evening, fair citizens of Goldport. It it has been too long since have spoken to you all. I hope that the day finds you well, for this is the first festival of colors that we've had since the tragic storm last year. I'd like to us to take a quick moment of silence for those who were lost. As you know, we are going to be in the presence of great and powerful deities. If I've asked you to show them the same respect that you would show our great Lord, Lord Xanthosis.
You could just, if there wasn't like a roaring of cheers, you would hear
Oh, none at
every
all.
single mechanical eye in the artifact roll.
Under the light of the sun goddess and with the goddess of nature, them all looking smile and smiling upon us on this day. Yeah, I'd like to welcome them, our fair cities, these acting city lord, it, Darius Suma. Good evening, my good and faithful citizens. It has, it, I have been amongst you, and I have spoken to many of you, it, reassuring you that today's festivities will go off perfectly. As you can see, the skies are clear, the wind is crisp and cool, and everyone has been provided with ample drinks.
I
Be
have it.
You
be
just can't get
kind.
all the drinks.
Be kind to our foreign visitors as they have traveled a great distance to be here. The citizens of Knox and and our visitors from the island nation of Genryujin. Like you see your cousin, he gets up and cheers very loudly, breaking the otherwise quiet applause. Yes. Um, allow me to introduce to you the, the rulers of our region, the Lord Xanthosis and Lady Iosis, the gods of the Arcana continent. And as he says that, you see sand then fly from ar- all around the arena, and it forms into this giant visage of a purple-skinned orc with silver, long silver hair that's tied into a tight ponytail,
Sounds like sand is in this, like, the crazy.
and he's wearing this dark black suit that looks kind of out of place on someone of his stature and like size. Like when you think of God, you think of someone wearing like loose-fitting robes or traditional clothing of the area, but he's wearing his suit is very reminiscent of the clothing of the Noxians. And like as he appears in the swirl of golden sand, he is carrying, like, he seems to be tinkering with something. I guess he sits there. He looks away from it just long enough to wave at the people who cheer very rapturously at the sight of him. Mm, like as that happens, you see the sky darkens slightly, and a rain of blood it rains over the arena floor, which then slowly coagulates into this large figure. She doesn't seem to be a full orc like a um, Xanthosis. She is definitely the part human, which is rare for this continent. But you can tell she's at least half orc, and her burgundy skin and bright blue garb uh, gives her presence away. Her hair is like these white dreadlocks that flow into this blood red head color, and her body is just absolutely covered in scars. And as he goes to sit down, he taps her brother on the shoulder, or says something in his ear, and he rolls his eyes and puts whatever he was tinkering with away. And she turns around and gives a slight bow to everyone, and, and summons her great club to lean on the chair next to her as he sits down very casually, like polar opposites to her brother. The Lord and Lady Guy and the Guy and Lady Arbitre, who come to us from Nox. Like you see the arena fills with this blood red water and mist as these two of step out of the mist all into the air and just of gracefully walk. Oh, like so. This is your guys' first time seeing these two. The guy Arbitre looks like your stereotypical well, vampire, but that a beach dude, like a beach dude. Like he he's wearing very nice clothing, but he is very tanned, and you can tell that he spends a lot of time out at sea, and his hair is like sort of tied in a very loose way to just keep it out of his face. And Lady Arbitre, she is an elven woman of dark gray complexion and with stark white hair that's pulled up into a very tight bun, and her long flowing red dress is very eye catching. as she sits down in her seat. And finally, our master of ceremonies, he's he's Lord Ginryujin, god of storms. And as he says that, the sky completely blackens, and you watch as his rain starts pouring down, um, and you see the sky then cracks open with its like lines of lightning in this huge jaw, as this Gimryujin descends from the sky, and lands in his seat between the other the four.
So,
Good evening. I hope everyone is ready for an exciting festival. And with that, that's where we're going to end for this week.
but we didn't answer the most important question.
But
Did I sell those tickets?
I'll get back to you on that later. We'll go over that at the beginning of next session.
Well,
Yeah.
it was nice knowing you guys. I am the only one in the party who's going to see at the furnace.
Yeah, so he can whisper sweet nothings into your ear.
Yep.
All right.
What I am
All
totally
right.
going to blame on the fact that we couldn't have
Hold on.
Seth around.
All right, so here's what I need you to do. I'm going to say some things into your ear, and I need you to repeat them to Layla for me. All right.
Okay.
I you didn't even
You gotta tell them, but you gotta tell her that it's from me. Okay, you got
Okay.
it.
Look, he's completely shifted the genre of romantic fiction so that it always is in reference to her.
Dude,
Okay.
straight simping.
Just remember, simping ain't easy. So, everyone, say goodbye to the audience.
Goodbye
goodbye,
to the
Bye.
audience.
audience.
Goodbye, audience.
Farewell.
I thought you were gonna say the whole thing.
Oh, fine. Okay. Forget me not, for I